for me, I always felt like I played well, but it felt like there was players that were playing really well.
Oh, yeah.
Not everybody can play for the Boks. Everybody has to carve their own way
I like
to their
that.
own success and stuff.
What is success looking like in your life at the moment?
Yeah. Let's interview him, not me.
Okay.
Konnichiwa, Ruckers. It's Behind the Ruck, episode 104. It's your number one rugby podcast. Ruckers, you know, Behind the Ruck is supported by SuperSport Bet, the one and only SuperSport Bet. And you know, we've always got our merch when it comes to Macron as well. We're in the lovely Yaya's Cafe.
Beautiful.
My favorite place.
Beautiful.
I've got my
lovely
cappuccino, my latte art over here at the corner of Dorp Street and Statler Street. Fantastic partner. You know who I am. Nice and relaxed. I'm Juan de Jong. And next to me is the one and only, also relaxed.
Very relaxed, Ruckers. It's Rudy Page, former Springbok scrum half. Represented the Vodacom Bulls. Also started at the Golden Lions. But now father with kids. Loving every minute that I get to spend with you guys each and every week, okay? But this is another fun-filled episode. 104. Put on your seatbelt, make your coffee, make your hot chocolate, put in a bit of marshmallows and tell everybody to leave you alone. This is your cutie time with these two, okay?
Us, yeah. Hey partner, are you good? I need to check on with you, okay? Because you're busy. Then it's pre-match show, then it's fan frenzy, then it's Sunday review.
I'm good. That's only one day of work, so not too busy. I would love to be a little bit more busy as I don't believe in balance in life. I believe the day when you're old, you'll get enough rest and enough time for balance. For now, it's all about work, making sure that I can showcase my kids what hard work look like, what sacrifice look like, teaching them good value system and principles through my example,
Yes,
okay? So balance, I do not believe in.
Yes.
Okay?
Okay. Indeed, yeah.
But I'm good. Daar gaat je weer met indeed.
Ruckers know they accepted, yeah.
But guys, what can we expect on episode 104? Firstly, we'll be getting stuck into, there was some stuff happening at Loftus Versfeld. And I'm not talking about the Boks beating Italy. I'm talking about Coach Jake mutually agreed to leave the Vodacom Bulls. After that, we're discussing SuperSport's Dream Team campaign, okay? It's week 3 and we'll be covering the tight head props. So Dream Team, after Coach Jake, going into the fixtures, some exciting international games coming up. And then we've got a fantastic, I believe, a really good guest. Someone that has walked a lot of steps in the world of rugby. Gerhard van der Heever.
Yes.
We know him as Shadow. He's represented the Vodacom Bulls. Stormers, Munster, Kubota Spears in Japan. Also played international rugby for Japan. My teammate in 2009.
Yes.
Baby Boks. We played against each other throughout our high school career. So Gerhard van der Heever will be on episode 104.
Exciting times to catch up with the big man. Fantastic, incredible career. But yeah, partner, let's get to Coach Jakey. I mean, it's something, I don't know if you want to speak about it. It came as a massive shock, especially for you. I was hurt as well in the way of the legend of a coach that he is, the way he had to move away and mutually move away. What he's done for the Bulls rugby for that 5 years, he basically changed the game for the Bulls in terms of where they were in 2020. Before COVID or during COVID, to what he's built throughout these past 5 years was fantastic to see, you know, to get to 3 finals out of 4. I mean, I know they didn't get the results in those 3 finals, but to get to the finals was impressive. And I don't know how you feel about it, but it's a new era coming for Bulls rugby.
Look, and I always want to be completely honest with the Ruckers and people that are watching our show and that tune in every week. It's a tough one for me, partner, because we would have loved to win 3 finals with him. But I also always feel like we shouldn't underestimate the value that he brought. Look, the fact is, he probably did lose the change room. And once that happens, I feel for the Bulls as the company, that's what they had to do. But it's dependent on who the Bulls bring in next. For me, the top guys is, I don't know if they're available. But if they can get it, then the move will make sense.
Yes.
If they can't get these 3 guys, then I am going to question why they let Coach Jake win and give the players so much power within the decision making.
And talking about the players as well, was for me sometimes in the communication thing, wasn't it a little bit of a meeting and saying, sitting down and say, listen, this is our issues, how can we work through it? Or was it, I don't know the deep story. It's tough to come from the outside and look at the stadium and see what happened. I mean, was it pressure of how they are? Was it pressure on injuries and pushing guys too much to the edge? That's also the situation. But that's not a scene we want to see, especially from a legendary coach that won a Rugby World Cup with the Springboks and what they've done.
Look, he won 2 Super Rugby unlocks, that post-COVID rugby that we played, 3 finals, the URC. Well, we missed. I thought he was successful at the Bulls. His stint at the Bulls was really successful. Made Springboks like Kanan Moody, Kurtley Arends. All of those boys became Springboks under him. Cameron Hannekoms, Wilco Low finding his best form again. So he also did some fantastic stuff.
Yeah.
And guys, for you guys to go understand him better, please go watch his episode with us that we were at Loftus with Coach Jake to understand the coach a little bit better. Okay, Ruckers?
Yeah. But nominees for you, who do you feel can take the next...
Over, it's between... Look, Coach Johan van Graan can't make it. He just signed an extension.
Yeah, to 2030.
Yes, I would go for Coach Franco.
Yes.
Smith. Jacques Nienaber, maybe. I don't know how long he's still signed with Leinster, but maybe trying to give him that option to come back and live his life in South Africa.
Yes.
Giving him the ropes to the Bulls. Those are probably my two topics.
Yeah, they still have Johan Ackerman as well. That's a nominee. They've got Chris Rousseau as well. That's a nominee. So those 5 nominees was actually the nominees they're speaking to at the moment. It all depends on what you think you will know best and how the culture when it comes to the Bulls would fit that culture, because it's a different type of culture to
Look, I'll be very worried if it's Coach Chris Rousseau, because our tech hasn't functioned in this last 2 years. And I actually think we need a new attack coach in the Bulls just to freshen up the way we play. So, let's see, wait and see. But hopefully we can get either Coach Franco Smith or Jacques Nienaber. That will be the 2.
It will be great to have those boys. I mean, if you look at Van Graan, fantastic at the Bath. If you look at Franco, fantastic at Glasgow. He's winning champions and trophies. Even Jacques Nienaber winning the URC under him. He won a Rugby World Cup. I mean, the next thing he wants to win is the Investec Champions Cup. Will he get it at the Bulls? Is that maybe an option for him? Because we're from there. So only time will tell, but I must give credit to Coach Jake, who has done fantastic with the Bulls. He's built a fantastic foundation with those boys. He's brought through Kanan Moody and boys you spoke about. There's a lot of other guys as well. He brought back Dwayne Vermeulen, he brought back Hugh Aplon, Nizam Kar. It made a big difference in the youngsters. And he spoke about it in his episode, Raka. So please, you have to go make time for that episode if you're a Bull supporter. And that's just awesome. It's sad, but we'll see what only time will tell to see what's going to happen now.
But we're going to park Coach Jake right now. Okay, guys, we're moving on to the Dream Team campaign that's currently being run by SuperSport.
Yes.
Each of you guys, the fans, get to vote for the ultimate Dream Team over the 30 years of Springbok history since winning the very first World Cup in 1995.
Yes.
We won 4 since, and it's been 30 years. And this week's selection for you guys to go vote at supersport.com is the tight head props partner.
Yes.
And who are those nominees?
Before we get to the tight head prop, okay, at number 1, we had Oosturand. At number 2, last weekend, it went to Malcolm Marx.
Yes,
the one and only Malcolm Marx.
Moesie.
And now that the season kicks in, at Vasco. Okay, die groot dogs. Wat hy goedjies se kry, hy baie goedjies kry. So the nominees is at number 1, Frans Malherbe. We've got Jannie du Plessis. We've got Kobus Versaghi, BJ Botha, and CJ van der Linde. Actually, a very close... Is the tough one?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I've got something in my head.
Okay, go. You can
Cape
go
Town.
first.
Are you feeling me from Cape Town? I mean, for me personally, it has to go to the double Springbok, Frans Malherbe. He's been fantastic in terms of how he plays. In terms of he's one prop that is solid in the scrum, fundamentals, broad and butter stuff, but also in the same breath, he's got that opportunity to pull it out the wide and throw those long balls and work around. I mean, he's been incredible for Springbok Rugby. And he went through dips with injuries and stuff. He comes back. He had COVID that gave him a little bit of a oomph. He came back as well.
Lekker Fransie.
But yeah, all his challenges and stuff, he's a lekker bloke. So my nominee has to go to Frans Malherbe.
I think my vote, I'm with you in the same boat this week, partner. We're rowing together down the River Nile, okay?
Just the
two of us. Hey, we can make it if we try. My vote also goes for Frans Malherbe.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
double World Cup winner, simply outstanding career. He's still obviously currently injured as we're talking, and it's not recent biased as voting. I just felt like he's had an absolute amazing career in the Springbok jersey, and my vote will definitely go for Francie.
Yeah.
Special mention though to CJ van der Linde.
Yes.
I thought his athleticism was outstanding when he played for the Boks, and he's a big human being.
Yeah.
So CJ van der Linde was very close to making that vote, but it has to go to Frans Malherbe.
Yes, and 100%.
Go make your vote, okay, guys?
Go get there, supersport.com.
There we go.
Yeah, partner, and then fixtures. Obviously, we got to speak about the two big ones, and that is France versus New Zealand at 9:05 on Saturday, and also the Springboks versus Italy. The Italian job. We've done the one. We're going for the second one at 5:10 this weekend at Berge. Okay?
And the British and Irish Lions game the upcoming weekend as well. Look, let's start with the Springboks. Ruckus, and for you guys watching currently, when we recorded this episode, the Springbok team was not announced yet. So all of this will be a lot of it hypothetical. But I'm seeing the Springboks bouncing back strong. Being in the hotel with the boys, Ruckus, after the game, you could see how unhappy they were. You could see they were... There was
frustrated. Rassie said frustrated 16 times.
You could see they were a little bit pissed off, partner. They wanted to put Italy away. Italy obviously hung around the game for a lot longer. The breakdowns was scrappy. The attack didn't function as smooth as they would have wanted. The first time in a very long time, the bomb squad didn't have that punch.
Kaboof.
Okay?
It wasn't a atoombom.
Het was
een bommetje.
Het was when hij klappertje. Ja, een beetje poepje gewoon en dan plof hij. But so I see the Boks bouncing back really strong this weekend.
Yes.
And this is the weekend Italy gets a 40 points difference.
Oh.
Ja, physical.
Aggressive.
Lelijk. Kabega gaan skit. It might be raining.
Yeah.
Might be some natla in Kabega, but
we don't care.
We don't care.
We're going to enjoy it.
Going their way.
Yeah, and I mean, it all comes to, I think the boys are not happy at the moment. So the backlash, I expect a backlash, but maybe not 40, maybe something smaller than that. But yeah, it's about the building the combinations.
Yes.
Communications.
Connections.
Building the combinations for me. I mean, Krappie, Mona van den Berg was fantastic at number 9. I mean, was the connection strong with Andre Pollard? Then we got the center combination. I mean, Damien Dialendi, speaking under correction, might not be playing this weekend. Damien Willemsen will get an opportunity with Jesse Kriel. I mean, the Power Rangers needs a rest maybe. Kanan Moody must get the opportunity. Edwin van der Merwe, another Power Ranger there as well. We got maybe Willie at the back this weekend. So hopefully the combinations will work. But the DNA is still the same when it comes to Springbok rugby. 6-2 split. I think I'll be expecting the same 6-2 split this weekend. And a massive backlash. A massive backlash to the Italian job. Don't underestimate the Italians. They're a strong outfit, even though they've got a couple of debuts. I mean, Tommaso Monancello is also been there for a very long time. Monancello.
And Ferrari. Ferrari. That was so cool when the stadium announcer said, and Ferrari runs onto the field. Yeah. I was like, damn.
Yeah. No, it's going to be like a game. I mean, we'll be there supporting the boys, raining or not. We'll get behind the boys. We'll have a pre-match show, and we'll have fun there as well.
No, definitely. But I want to take just 2 seconds to talk about the incredible talent, ability, world-class players currently that we have in those 2 Power Rangers. Against the Barbarians, Cheslin Colby, man of the match. And against Italy in the first stage, Kurtley Arendse could have easily been the man of the match.
That
try he scored. I mean...
Mes deer botter.
Hij trap hem aan af, lelijk. Woef. Dat is wind achter.
Zonnelus.
So Kurtley Arendse, look, the 2 of them, we've got the best wingers in the world.
Yeah.
And I want to see them on the field again this weekend. Yes,
they
partner.
need rest for the 6th of September in Auckland.
They're going to have 3 weeks rest after Georgia.
Okay. Geef hulle.
Let the boys must play.
Yeah.
Let the boys play.
So what are you expecting? Plus 40, you say?
Yeah, I'm going to go for plus 40. I just think the backlash is going to be too big, partner.
Yeah. I mean, last weekend it was plus 18. I'm going to stick to the same plus 20 this weekend coming. It's going to be a high-scoring game. Hopefully some running rugby. Hopefully The weather's not too bad, but like we said, like we saw against the Barbarians, we can do anything. It doesn't matter what weather.
And Ruckers, when you're watching this episode, make sure you tune in 7 o'clock this Sunday evening to talk about the game, okay? We will be covering the results between the Springboks, the British Irish Lions, also the All Blacks versus France. So 7 o'clock this upcoming Sunday, okay?
Yeah.
And also while we are sitting here, guys, this is a first for Behind the Ruck.
Yeah.
So later in the episode, there might start with
Yeah,
people
we gotta open it up.
be in the show, okay? Do not be overwhelmed. Do not be afraid or alarmed. That is just how the show is evolving.
Yes.
Let's go.
At one of our coffee places, and it's time for the shadow. Must we get to the
Shadow,
shadow?
let's go to-
Here we go. Up next, Gerhard van Heever.
Ruckers, we are very privileged. He's one of my old teammates. We represented the junior box together 2009. But this man has had an illustrious rugby career. None other than Shadow Gerhard van Heever. Konnichiwa.
No, konnichiwa, genki desu ka?
Konnichiwa.
You see that? I'm lost again.
Is that it?
That's it.
Konnichiwa.
I just know konnichiwa, do itashimashite,
Yeah.
and then I know hai gozaimasu.
Hi, Shadow, how's things? You,
No,
you good?
thank you very much, guys, for having me over. It's a massive privilege to be a part of your show and being invited. So I'm looking forward to a little bit of a chat with you guys.
Yeah. Now we brought you out
Thank
to
you again.
Stellenbosch a little bit. Yeah, cafes, okay?
Yeah.
Why are you here?
Yeah.
Are you on holiday? Or are you on...
Ek is so klein bietjie op vakansie, a little bit of a holiday, but injured my knee, got surgery about 6 weeks ago, so just doing my rehab at SAS.
Okay, yes.
So
Okay,
everything's
but-
going well.
Shadow, why in Cape Town and not Pretoria? I'm assuming home is Pretoria.
No,
Talk to me.
No, obviously came over to the Stormers and then got married here, moved overseas,
Oh, yes.
and then my wife is from Stellenbosch, so
Yeah, okay.
obviously that you go where the missus goes.
So you found happiness in Cape Town?
found happiness in Cape Town.
I see.
En as mamma sê sy wil op bly, dan wil sy daar bly. Alright, now we go with it, ja.
Baas gepraat, luister ons.
Ja, nee.
But Shadow, quickly, injury knee, what surgery was it? Just a scope you had to do, and what was the reasons for the surgery?
No, I tore my meniscus and the cartilage off the femur bone, so they had to remove part of the cartilage, drill a couple of holes for the cartilage to start to regrow back, but recovery time is about 4 to 6 months, so
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
still a couple of months
And
to
when
go.
in the late 30 clubs, 4 to 6 might be 8
Ja,
months.
mag 'n bietjie langer wees.
Yes,
Yeah.
boys.
So you're going back to Japan in a couple of months? Or?
Yeah, going back to Japan, hopefully around about September, October, just depends on how the rehab goes, and then,
Yeah.
looking forward to the tough season lying ahead.
Yeah.
I want us to start the conversation there, partner. Japan. Life in Japan.
Yeah.
You've spent there, how many years now have you been in Japan, Shadow?
About 9 years now, since 2016.
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
it like Tokyo Drift? Like in Japan?
I don't know. I don't stay out that late at night, but I have to say Japan is awesome lifestyle. People are so respectful. Everything
Yeah.
works. Everything's on time, and just a lovely place to live and to grow your life and
people
so on.
say like the discipline there is the next level. If you leave your phone there, it stays there. Okay? Daar's je handjies wat getik moet word. Goed soos dit.
Now I always tell people when you go to a coffee shop like Starbucks or so, you put your wallet and your phone down on the table to kind of like merk your plek,
Yes,
save
yes,
your
yes.
space, and then you go stand in a queue to buy a Starbucks, and like nobody will touch it, nobody will walk close to it. Like okay, at your space there, you go sit there, have your coffee, and then alles reg.
Yeah.
No, I've got also a lovely story about my time in Japan, buddy. My oldest boy, he somehow... First thing, we shouldn't have not bought him a phone because he was too young for a phone.
Yes.
But we've made that mistake. So he lost his phone in the taxi, right?
Oof.
And we thought, Baba,
Ja,
It's not taxi cab.
a cab.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, cab.
I weet of the cab is. Ik denk is dalk 'n taxi.
Is it?
What is it in Japan? Taxi or cab?
The
Shadow?
taxi.
Taxi,
Was
I
it
was just
taxi?
about to
Oh,
say.
okay, sorry.
Yes. So we lost it in the taxi and we thought, okay, phone is gone. The next morning, somehow the police got our number on the phone and stuff. They called us and the taxi driver came to deliver the phone back to the hotel
Yo.
where we were staying at.
Ja.
Police.
Yeah.
Sure. Huh?
Yeah, incredible.
Hulle los jou goedjies, hè?
Nee, fatty.
Maar nou, as 'n groot lost and found in Japan. Ek meen, ons het hier een naweek ook 'n paar biere gedrink. Een van die New Zealand ouens, we welcomed him to Japan to talk about our spears.
Yeah.
Went out, had a couple of beers, and then the next morning he woke up and realized his wallet was missing. So obviously the next thing is go to the police station the Monday morning.
Yeah.
Get up there, he's like, yeah, I lost my wallet. Like, can you please help me? He's like, And they ask you, what's your name? Where were you when you lost your wallet? And then everything confirmed. They're like, yeah, here's your wallet. Somebody gave it in yesterday.
So, and I don't want you to put any pressure. What is that like? Because in South Africa, you know the realities. We all know the realities. If you lose your wallet, as
Sy naam is nooit weer sien.
as Nagmela, Cheerios.
Sy naam is nooit weer sien.
Kom maar terug hier.
From South African and how we do things and the Japanese, is there any other stuff that stands out for you that you like, wow, this is amazing from Japan? How they do things, how they live, what they do for each other. Is there anything else that stands out?
I think just the lifestyle in general, the safety and how everything is just super on time.
It works.
Yeah, everything works. Everything's on time. Like even the trains, it's not 5 seconds or 5 minutes or 5 hours late. Everything's on time. I always tell a story that the train company had an official statement made on the front page of the news the one day where they apologized to the public because the train was 17 seconds late, and they apologized if some people didn't catch the train to get to their jobs on time. So it's like that kind of like almost like diligence on discipline.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just sometimes a little bit frustrating because, you know, we live in the grey area.
Yes.
Ons moet 'n bietjie laat wees. Daai tipe van goeders, maar in Japan is hierdie weg op die highway.
Ja. Dis hoekom hulle wag daar. What do you call that big cross?
Ja, Shibuya crossing.
Shibuya.
Yes,
Ja.
ja. Is patience there, okay?
Yes,
Jy so
sir.
hardloop hulle oor die pad. Maar kom, ons is nie so met ons land, okay?
But I actually want to know, for Shero, you, Pretoria background now, going to Japan, was it difficult adapting? Obviously now, 9 years later, so you must be home at the moment.
Yeah.
But was it difficult for you to adapt to Japanese lifestyle?
I first went to Ireland for 3 years, and then after Ireland we went to Japan. And the first club I signed for in Japan was Yamaha. And Yamaha is obviously a big factory company and was a little bit out in the countryside. Was the only South African there. They didn't have a translator, so you're kind of like thrown into the deep end, and then
Swim.
then you kind of like learn to speak Japanese a little bit quicker than usually, because like that's the only way you get to do stuff during the day and so on. So massive adjustment, but you're there to work, you're there to play rugby.
Yeah.
And the quicker you can adjust and pivot and move forward, like that's the only way you're going to get through it, and starting to embrace the culture and be open to everything and new experiences. Like you have to buy into the system in order to get the best benefit
To be
of the
successful,
system.
yeah. And adapting on the field as well. The type of rugby, because we had a lot of rugby players that plays their rugby in Japan, and they talk about the fast game. And
Yeah, I remember watching YouTube clips when I signed with Yamaha. Kijk, top league highlights and so on, and I was like, yeah, man, hardloop. It looks like sevens and stuff. Ja, dis heel dag besige goeders. And when I got there, look, the training is difficult. The training is different. Dus elke dag kontak, elke dag fixate. Captain's run. Ons sal captain's run doen vir 20 minute, dan sê hulle nee, ons gaan nou, we're going to do an hour's defense as well. Hours contact defense the day before the game, and then the day on the game you're like, yes, I don't know how I'm going to get through the second half, maar jy moet maar vastbyt
ja.
this like, yeah.
So it's high speed running and
High speed running and contact, because I think in South Africa the school system, we play a lot of rugby from the ages of 14, 15, 16.
Yeah.
I have a lot of rugby experience playing in scenarios, playing against good competition, where in Japan not all the schools have rugby. You have to go play rugby at a private club. And at a young age, there's not such a massive rugby culture in Japan. So the Owens, they don't play a lot of rugby until they get to the top league, because the university only plays 6-8 games a year, and then the rest of the year they train. So you don't get those guys with that match experience.
yeah.
So, yeah.
It's crazy. And Ruckers, for context, Gerhard has got 5 Japanese caps already, and that is where my question is going. When you moved away from Munster to Japan to join Yamaha, was a thing that I want to play for Japan? Was it ever part of the thinking in your moving to Yamaha at the time?
I think later on it became like, oh yeah, it's nice. Obviously it's a dream for all of us and for every young rugby player to play international rugby. But then after, you tick along a little bit in age, went from Munster to Yamaha, I was 27, 28. Then you're like, okay, I need to play at least a couple of years to be eligible to play for the country. And then you become like in your 30s, then you're like, yes, I know, it's a tall order.
He's tough, he's no tough.
So then you kind of just like embrace every single season and every single game. like it's your last game because you don't know when it might end. So you just give it your all and kind of you put your heart on it because you want to achieve it. And I believe that anything that you put your heart to it with a little bit of luck and by the grace of God, everything is achievable. So
it will happen. Yeah.
after my first season in Japan, that became a viable option because I started to play real well. Coaches started to say, yes, well, you should actually look about playing for Japan. And then I yes, actually, if that's the opportunity, I'm going to grab it with both hands. So.
And you speak about representing the country, but representing our country. Was there ever a time with the Bulls, at the Stormers, whatever, did you feel like, okay, Alistair Coetzee or Heineke Meyer or even Peter de Villiers, I'm ready now? At your time with the Bulls, at the Stormers?
Yes, I don't know. For me, I always felt like I played well, but it felt like there was players that were playing really well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so if there was an opportunity, yes, I would have loved to have that opportunity or to take my opportunity. But I think I matured a little bit later in terms of rugby form and stuff. I was playing well, but I wasn't like...
Ja, die
Chesley Colby's en die Curly Arends, ek meen, hy is next level ouens, hy. And I just think, like, not everybody can play for the box. It's not for all of us and stuff, and everybody has to carve their own way to their own success and stuff.
And I think that
there's many ways to skin a cat. So,
yes.
Yeah.
And I think success also looks different for each and everyone.
And we spoke about that, Achieve Daimani, the depth where you come from.
So success definitely looks different. What is success looking like in your life at the moment?
Yeah.
Huh?
Let's interview him, not me.
Okay.
And should we speak about, playing for Japan in international level, and you had Tony Brown at that stage there as well. I mean, what did he, obviously we see the Tony ball with the Springboks and stuff like that. What did he teach you during that time?
I think Tony Brown is a coach that has another dimension to the game. I mean, he looks at it like almost like backwards, forwards, like helemaal anders daarom. Where sometimes we tend to get in a structure, we only do this structure this weekend, we only play this way this season, Where in Tony's case, like every game, different moves, different structures. So you have to be on top of your game, and he develops the skill set of every single player. So you might play on the wing, or you might play on scrum half, but everybody, he has the ability to change, to improve everybody's skill set. So number 9 on the wing can play wing, and the wing can play at number 9. So just like when you have the backs that have the skill set like that, then you can do any single structure, any single move on the game.
Just from, he said the wing under 9, Cheston Colby.
Yes.
And we saw like Sia Kulisi and stuff like that, and like even Elizabeth, the skill level they have now is next level.
Yeah.
And I mean, we haven't seen that in a long time, where our forward starts, pulling it out the back and stuff like that. It's obviously him just imprinting the mindset of, listen, you can do it. Just follow this.
Yeah, no, there's no reason why I do it. And rugby has become so physical and so tightly contested.
Yeah.
You have to find a space. And find a space on the edges and where is the defenders the least.
Yep.
So kom ons attack daar so. Ons hardloop hier die muur vas hier. Ons gaan soek waar die spaces is. But then again, you have to have the skill set to execute that plan.
Yeah.
And I think that's where Tony Brown is next level when it comes to that kind of stuff. And build the team's confidence and the individual's confidence.
And that's
like sometimes there'll be a mistake in the game when you throw a little chicken wing pass or whatever, and you think like, yes, no, the coach is gonna not be happy with me. It's like, no, it's a great idea. Just next time, just tuck the elbow a bit and throw it like that.
Yeah.
So they encourage that.
They encourage that, yeah.
The chicken winky and
a chicken winky.
There's always way.
I think when I was playing for Japan, the main goal was like, we need passes. We need hankies. We wanted to have 300 passes in the game. So when we do that, then we're starting to execute our game plan because we wanna play quick, we wanna play fast. We don't want to play physical and slow because that's not our strong point. We wanted to play to our strong point, which is running rugby, skills rugby, offloads, passes, backdoor passes, interesting moves, switches, that kind of stuff.
And you love that, playing that way of rugby compared to how we at the Bulls at the time. It was a very kicking, dominated game. Now moving to Japan where you say 300 passes, you getting ball in space, getting the ball on the edge. Did you love that?
No, obviously you love to get the ball in space. Is maar lekker.
Om 'n bietjie te
lekker om 'n bietjie te skou en daai tipe van goedjies doen. Ja, is lekker because sometimes when you get a little bit one-dimensional, your players start to mentally fatigue as well. En jy selfe moves oor en oor doen en daai goedjies doen jy like When you get to game 15 and 20 of the season, you're like, yes, doen ons nog steeds hier. Ek kan sê iets anders doen. Of hy het van goeders. We always kept it fresh. New moves, new ways to exploit the opposition. And that makes you excited as a player because like, okay, I back this move. Yes, ons kan nie wag tot ons hierdie move in naweek doen nie.
Yeah.
So like that type of stuff.
So you would say the Gerhard van die Heever at the Stormers Bulls is it different to at the Japan or currently at the moment?
I think definitely you have to adapt to the scenarios and to the coaching style for every single team. Otherwise, you're not part of the system.
Yeah.
And as soon as you buy into that system and you better yourself in that system, then you're going to enjoy the system as well. Understand? Maar as jy nou heeltyd, if you kick against the system the whole time, then it's not great for both parties.
Yeah.
Hy's 'n baie goeie punt. It's a valid point.
Adapt to survive.
Yes, and being open for change, partner.
And I think that's what I learned with Frans Lurek when he was coaching in 2009 and 10 at the Bulls, is a team that can adapt the quickest to the situations and the scenarios on the field. That's a team that's going to have the front foot when it comes to the end of the game.
Yeah. Just when he started young, actually. You spoke about 2008 and 2009. What were you, 19, 20?
Yeah, I think about 19 years old.
19, yeah. He was the first one out of our group that played Super Rugby. Our 2007 matriculants, Cero was the first to play Super Rugby.
Breakthrough.
Yes.
In a championship team, actually, with Victor and Brian Abena and all those boys at the time. How was that for you, stepping into that environment as a 20-year-old?
No, I think that was a massive privilege. And just to say, for me to have a career that have started like that, it's only by luck and by die genade van die Here dat ou daai geleentheid gekry het en goeie. So I was baie dankbaar daarvoor. But just going into arriving there and you go drink water when die coaches sê gaan drink 'n bietjie water en oom bakkies kan ek die water oom man. But then you're like, ek is 19, 20 jaar oud, 19, 20 years old and you're playing against guys that played 50, 70 test matches for the Springboks. It's almost 30 years old. I mean, it felt easy to play the way I wanted to play because okay, I don't have to worry about those guys doing their jobs. They always do their jobs. Ek moet net seker maak ek moet my job doen.
Vang, hardloop,
gaan score 3.
Can you remember your debut game for the Bulls?
Yeah, I remember it was at Loftus. I remember Brian got injured the weekend before that and Frans told me he wanted to see me in his office on Monday. So I went in, he's like, oh no, listen, Brian got injured this weekend. You're going to start against the Stormers this Saturday. I'm like, yes. I remember walking out there, goosebumps, went to go sit on the steps at Loftus, phoned my dad and I was like, yes, Pa, I'm playing against the Stormers this weekend. And we both just started crying and stuff because like, it's a dream come true. I mean, like that's what we all strive for is to break to the next barrier and to be able to play Super Rugby. The ones that you were watching from primary school, 9 uur in die oggend en wiskunde in klas, luister 'n bietjie, earphones, listen to the Super Rugby. So yeah, that was massive. And I played debut against Tondra Shavanka.
Yep. Yes.
Ja, vanige ou.
Ja, spoedvraag.
You still playing for the Storm.
What year was that, 2010?
Yeah, it was 2010, yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, if you
Percy
start...
Montgomery, I remember kicking out I think one night I kicked the eyeball and I was competing against Percy and as I'm running them like, yeah, I'm going to jump against Percy Montgomery now.
Was I go for it? Was I injured him? Yes, so I mean, as a 20-year-old, I mean, I can remember as well, you're so caught up in because it was a dream since you was 8 years old and now you're moving in the circles with these guys. You had their pictures on the wall and now all of a sudden you're mingling with them and not only running over them and with them, but you sometimes beat them and you feel good sometimes about it as well. How did it feel for you, I mean, as that youngster, breaking through, playing with those people and just your vision and mission to like you said, to where you are today?
No, for me, with playing with those guys, that they were, every one of those players was world class in his position. I mean, that's one of the ultimate Super Rugby 15s that you can get. So for me, it was just important to copy off, do your work as best as you can, because like you don't want to disappoint those guys because they're willing to die on that field and they're proud of their job and everybody takes ownership and responsibility of what their job, task on the field is, and you do the same. Yeah.
Any lessons from those senior players at that time that kind of stuck with you right now?
For me, not from that time, but I caught up with one of the older players for a couple of months ago, and I was telling him like, yes, I'm getting a bit older now, and does he miss rugby and that kind of stuff. And he just told me like, focus on the one thing that makes you happy at the moment. And if that is playing rugby, play that to the best of your ability.
Yeah.
And when that chapter is finished, you focus on the next chapter and you throw your boots and everything into that.
Yeah.
It's like the worst thing you can do now is trying to like, maar ek wil dit doen, ons wil hierdie die, because then you start to lose focus on the main thing, which is the rugby.
Yeah.
Your plan A. There's no plan B. There's a plan A until plan A is done, and then we pivot and we do the next thing.
To the best of your ability.
Love that.
Yeah.
I love plan A. Ek hou nie van plan B nie. But I want to ask you a question because both of you made it very young into senior rugby. And my question is this, boys. At that time, right? Luckily, we didn't have social media, but there's young boys that are currently also making it into URC teams. How do you stay grounded when you all of a sudden are playing with the likes of the Bryans, Victors, for you at Jacques John de Villiers? How do you stay grounded as a 20-year-old? Because now all of a sudden, all the newspapers, you're getting Adidas for free, you're getting a sponsored car. How do you keep the seatbelt on?
I mean, for me personally, at that time, there wasn't social media, and social media makes a big difference because for me, it feels like sometimes these days the guys are more worried about what is the people saying, what is the comment section saying about them. Because I felt like the last stage of my career, every time the game is done, the first thing the people do is go on their phones and check what intergame to it and stuff like that. So it was easier back then because similar point that Dean was making that Fourie the pre actually told him is to focus what's ahead of you. Focus what's ahead of you. Focus on not only playing the game, but you focus on your day-to-day task in terms of being the best you can be as a rugby player, just enjoying yourself, not putting a lot of pressure onto yourself. But I feel like social media does put a lot of pressure onto these youngsters. But for me, when I went my first time into the season with the senior players, it was just in staying in the moment, man. That's the most important thing, staying in the moment, enjoying the time and try the best you can be, obviously, at training. You don't want to be 20 years old and be like, they look at you like, oh, he's probably lucky to be here. You got to show your worth. You got to work hard and show him, listen, I deserve to be here. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, and I think that comes along with being in a team with a lot of leaders. Back in the day at the Bulls, if you start to get out of hand a little bit, hey, maak vast.
Stay in your lane type of vibe.
Stay in your lane, yes. Hier's om jou werk te doen jou werk. And for me, it's like, you focus on your rugby. You never think that you have arrived because you might just be, iemand mag je net weer volgende naweek step, want jy ook nou weer
dan is
nie goed nie. So you can always improve your game, increment by increment, even if it's 1 or 2% per week. But just to focus on the game and when you play and you prepare to the best of your ability, the rest will look after himself. Social media will look after itself. As jy die beste is, and you have your heart set and your head set on your main goal and stuff, then the rest of the stuff will fall in place.
Yeah, all the other stuff will fall into place. And that's what Rassie said as well. Rassie said you have to win first before you can inspire people. Because sometimes you feel like, I just want to inspire people, but win first and be on a level to inspire people. But I want to ask you a question as well.
Okay.
I want to ask you a question just to get your point of view. Because I feel, it feels to me like way back in the days, and you can come in here as well, when we were juniors coming into the system, it was juniors and seniors, and you know where you kind of are and what lane you are in. And these days, it's changed a bit because of social media and because you want to express yourself and be you, and coaches allow you to be you. Doesn't matter what your style is, how you dress, and how you connect. Is that maybe I don't want to say good thing or bad thing? What is the level in terms of senior and junior and how they treat each other?
Look, and I'm talking about 3 years ago now, partner. If I use my last club I played for, boys, it was. I also still believe in the old school way of doing it. There's a bit of a hierarchy. You know where you fit in.
Your stripes type of vibe.
If you're still under 10 caps, you still make sure the change room is
voor in die bus.
Is voor in die bus.
Van die man se sakke.
That thing. But I realized when I was in France that last year is that the youngsters, if you treat them that way, you lose them. So as a team, it's such a tricky where if you're stuck in your ways, you might lose the players that you need for the team to be successful. So with my last season, I also had to kind of let go of that when just like, this is the realities.
Yeah.
They don't like it when they feel like there's a certain level of hierarchy. They want to be inclusive.
Yeah.
They want to talk with the older boys. They want to have their say. They want to be their own personality. So I think you have to make a decision, or for us at the time, you have to make a decision for what's best for the team.
Yeah.
Did I like like a 19-year-old and me being 33, 34, having a back and forth?
Okay.
No, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
And did I have to allow it? Yes, I wanted to win. So I don't know if that answers your
Yeah,
question.
no, 100%. It answers my question as well. And I mean, coaches need to adapt to that style as well of coaching as well. Because with these youngsters playing fantastic rugby, they come in. There's a certain way of, I don't know what they call it, Gen Z vibes. If you were born in the 20s, but whatever it is. I mean, even in my days when there was Alistair Coetzee, we used to park. We could have parked inside at the HPC. I mean, when Flecky came with his days, maybe he said maybe all of us outside just to make sure there's a kind of a straighter line. I don't know how you felt, especially with the Bakkies era and the era after.
The mindset I had was like, I'll get my day. It's like one of those
time
things
will
that you work towards it. Like I'll park outside now because yes, I'm striving to park there one day. I also want to park next to the building and have 50 or 100 caps and that kind of stuff. It's almost like embracing that novice youngster spirit now and working hard. And then you're going to enjoy that so much more instead of getting it at like say a 19 and a 20-year-old and then it doesn't help then. Sometimes you have to have a bit of diversity. Bietjie grondpad, bietjie daai goedjies om 'n ou se karakter te bou, build your character and makes you a better person.
Bietjie grondpad. Is moeilik met 'n polo. Is moeilik met 'n polo grondpad. It can be.
And Parry, while we're on this topic, you know how good it was when I got to the Bulls 2012 in the beginning and you see match days, how the guys park on their numbers. Because the parking at the number that you played.
It inspires you.
It was like, okay, nee, that's why we park. But you understand the system to get there.
Understand the hard work and the sacrifice and the early mornings and the late nights, going home, looking on the computer, looking at your clips, figuring out what's my guy's weaknesses and his strengths for next week. And is he stepping off the left foot, the right foot? Does he usually chip off the left? Like, does he have a weak shoulder? All that kind of stuff. That hard work makes you appreciate like once you get there later on in your career.
Yeah,
it makes it taste sweeter.
Yeah, once you get it, Jesus,
and it humbles you then as well because you're like, oh, no, I did my tough days in order to get here, so I appreciate where I am at the moment.
One thing about this game, man.
Eet vir jou, so maak jy onder jou voete uit. And that is actually what I want to talk to Gerhard about next, partner. You've played Bulls 31 games, Stormers 26, Munster 29, and the list go on. Represented the Sunnies, a team that I am very proud of as well. Over the years, wing and fullback, toughest players you've played against. What has been the biggest learnings against playing against these international players? Is there any specific one guy that stood out wat vir jou 'n lang dag gemaak het by die office?
Yeah, I remember, obviously, when I was at the Bulls, Brian was there. A couple of years senior than me. Every training I had to train against Brian. I'm like, yes, I have to cover this guy again now. If I could home try step of that. And then when we played Super Rugby, Gerhard.
Yes?
Yes, because you were trying to follow him around the field and jy sien hy's daar. Hy's aan die ander kant van die veld en hy hardloop daar lyn as yes, kom jy by die man uit. And then remember the winger that played for the Highlanders, Masanga.
Yes, Lila Masanga.
I thought I'd never see that guy again. And my first game in Japan was against Honda and Masanga was playing.
No.
Man. Here we go again.
They're running it back.
But luckily the guy was a little bit more stockier then.
Yeah.
So.
Did he still do the celebrations? Because he used to. The duggies
no,
and the stuff.
He was all over the place, that guy. Yeah, man.
Yeah. And for you, like tries and stuff like that, you scored a lot of tries playing on the wing at 15 as well. Which one was the best, or best game? Too much. He's got so much options. He doesn't have the best.
Is daar een wat uitstaan? One particular game that I was at my best in that game.
No, I think the try some people refer to as that try against the Highlanders the 1 year at Loftus. When I think it was my first year, I was still playing with the long second skins. Wit skins gespeel. That was one of the nicest tries because it was like deep in our own half.
Yeah.
From what do you call it, turnover ball. So yeah, that was a nice try. But just to latch on to your previous point, I was always playing wing at the Bulls, the Stormers, and then went to Munster wing and stuff. And then I don't know if you remember Goromaru from Japan, the fullback.
Yes.
So Goromaru had a massive 2015 World Cup and then signed for Toulon. And then Yamaha was looking for a fullback, and I was like, yes, I would love to play fullback again because my whole high school career, I was playing fullback. And then when I got picked for the under-19 Bulls, they picked me on wing because there was already the previous year's Kruimbeek fullback.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, okay, nee, ek sal nou vleuel speel. And then went to the senior team and they're like, nee, jy speel vleuel. So when I got the opportunity at Yamaha to go play fullback again, I was like, no, yes, I have to take this opportunity. And then I had one of my best seasons in my professional career at Yamaha at fullback. I won goal kicker of the year. Top point scorer of the year.
You said goal kicker.
No, that's right. Look, for us that played the same year, like Grant Como, he played office, we were at Outeniqua. So Shadow kicked a long ball.
Okay.
Out of hand, 4 poles. He was fast, obviously did athletics. He was very well known at the time. So when he started playing for the Bulls wing, most of our age group was surprised.
Yeah, that's what I know him.
Yeah, but we knew him as a fullback.
Oh, yeah.
Lekker.
That's why I know him. I know him. Don't give him the outside because he will burn you. So you see, enjoying 15. Why 15? Is it the open space? Is it the technical stuff? Is it putting guys into space?
I think it's the technical aspect of it and feeling like I'm a little bit more in control of the game.
Yeah.
Feeling like I can impact the game on both sides, possession, territory-wise, on the left, on the right. And then just it feels like I have more control and an impact on the game at fullback than at wing.
And is it still currently in Japan? Do you still get to play wing and fullback? Which one?
Wing and fullback, yeah.
Both?
Yeah, because recently we signed Sean Stevenson.
Yes.
From the Chiefs, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sean Stevenson, he's playing for
Chiefs fullback.
But he's signed with Kubota now permanently,
he's coming back next season,
yeah. Lekker.
But is goeie daar.
It's nice. And on that, Sedo, playing in Japan and you guys are currently Kubota's PS1 last year, this year obviously falling short, unfortunately. But you guys get to play with the likes of Brno. You had Ryan Crotty that obviously left not too long ago. You sit with Bernard Foley, obviously Davy Bulbring. The mixture of all of them playing together in one team, is that amazing?
No, it's definitely amazing. I mean, we're very fortunate to have those Africans and New Zealanders and Australians in our team because like Ryan Crotty, Bernard Foley, they bring a lot of experience from their own country and their own systems and setups. So to roofkyk, to copy a bit of that stuff and to bring it into your own game and the own way you want to play it, it's very inspirational for us. And the environment is healthy because Kubota started in 2000. When I went in 2018, we were at the bottom of the log in the first division. The previous year we played second division. So we've built, with the coaching staff and everything, we've built a legacy and a franchise at Japan with Kubota being in the top 4 the last couple of years. So we've built a good structure and a good process around the club with the experienced players coming in, the feedback they give, the coaching staff being open to new ways of coaching and skill sets and all that kind of stuff. So just kind of like slowly, every year, bettering, improving on this, improving on that. And then getting that one international or the other international in for 1 year and they bring over their skill sets and stuff that they learned in their country and stuff just helps the team grow to another level for the next year's tournament.
Just so, huh?
Interesting question, Sedo. Now thinking about it, I look at your team as Malcolm Marx. You guys have a strong team. A Japanese team versus a Bulls URC game. Hypothetically, what do you think would happen? How competitive would that game be? Just looking at what you guys have in your squad, looking at the Bulls or the Stormers. I don't want to discriminate here, Ruckers. I know you guys are very touchy once it comes to the two teams. But do you think that will be an interesting game and the outcome of a game like that?
I definitely would look forward to one of those games. That'll be
it's coming, the Club World Cup.
A good measure of competition and where we are as a franchise and a rugby team to being able to play exhibition matches against, say, a URC team and that kind of stuff. So no, we have a very a massive forward pack at the moment. So a lot of foreigners, a lot of guys from Tonga, Samoa, big physical guys. So it'll be interesting matchup to see that. Like we should organize that. It'll be amazing games to watch.
I think just sitting here thinking about it, Mr. Respon, if you're there at the Bulls and somehow you've stumbled upon this episode with Shadow, an exhibition match between Kubota Spears, Vodacom Bulls. We've got Lappies, Shadow, David Bullbring, all previously represented the Vodacom Bulls. Exhibition match either in Tokyo or at Pretoria. Oh,
Can work.
it will work. Will work, boykie.
That will be class as
Or maybe
well,
just meet halfway. Is the Japanners is naby nie?
Yeah, it depends how
Maybe,
you're going to play.
maybe in Singapore at the national stadiums where we used to
that'd
play
be
for
nice,
the Sunnies.
Yeah, that'd be class if we can arrange something like that. I don't know where we're going to fit it in the URC and the Investec and all
It's
the
too much
games
rugby.
coming on. Yeah.
Yeah. How many games do you guys play in the season?
This year we played about 21 games.
21.
It's not bad.
In a short time,
Yeah.
our first game starts start of December, and the final is usually towards the end of May. So it's about 5 games, 1 week or 5 games, and then keeps on
That's lekker,
repeating.
yeah. It's not back to back to back.
Yeah, yeah.
You have a little bit of a rest,
Yeah, but I have to say it's one of the most competitive seasons I've had in Japan. Just with all the players coming over to Japan and the improvement in the Japanese league. Like it's not what it was in 2016. 2016, we had 3 or 4 foreigners on the field. Where now in our starting lineup, some games we only have 2 Japanese guys in the starting lineup. So, so it's tough rugby at the
Interesting,
moment.
yeah.
And Shadow, currently, what is the selection criteria? Is it still 2 international players on the field at times? Capped players, or what is the... for
Yeah,
you
so you
guys?
have your category C players, which is like Isaiah Malcolm and Bernard Foley. Then you have your category B players, which is players that's been in Japan for longer than 5 years that haven't been internationally capped.
Okay.
And then category A is Japanese players. So when you play for Japan, you qualify as a Japanese player, so you fall under the category A rule. So you can play as many cat A's as you want, but usually it's about 4 category B players and 2 cat C players.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting, yeah.
Was het aangelag?
Sharon, we speak about, Ruckers, we speak about the Japanese life, okay, in rugby. Then we spoke about the Bulls rugby. I want to talk about the Stormers as well. I mean, a lot of people, if you look at Dwayne Vermeulen and Hugh Applon, Nizamka, all these boys, they go from Stormers to the Bulls. You were one of the few that went from Bulls to the Stormers. Why that move, and how was that move, your time at the Stormers?
No, I think the move came. Rassi phoned me and said, "Would I like to come over to the province?" And I was like, "Yes." From school, I was playing against Western Province, and when I got the opportunity, I was just like, "Yeah, yes."
Yeah,
Be
why
nice
not?
because I wasn't starting at the Bulls. I was a little bit frustrated. Got the opportunity to come to the Stormers, but then my first meeting, the Monday, Flecky.
Yeah.
Speaking English and stuff. He's like, "No, welcome, Gerhard." And all the meetings is English, and there's a saying in Pretoria, you only speak Afrikaans when it's self-defense. And I was like, I was like a head in the headlights, deer in the headlights. I didn't know what to say. Like, yeah, coach, yeah, ek weet nie.
Confidence gone.
Yeah. So that was a massive, a soft landing for me, because that could have been Japan. Not being able to be fluent with English or not speaking it so on a daily basis, and then landing in Japan where it was like Stormers, klein bietjie Engels, Munster nog steeds Engels, and then obviously far from home, and then Japan just like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm used to adapting now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because a lot of the Bulls players actually say, partner, it's tough. It's tough when you go to the Stormers to focus because of the beach and the Table Mount, and there's not a few of them wants to come down. Is that the reason?
I always tell you, that's why, and Cero can answer, that I always believe once we play the Stormers from the Bulls in Cape Town, there's so many distractions. There's guys going for coffees, and there's sushi dates, and it's tickets to families, and Saturday morning is people in the hotel up and down. And everything's important but the 80 minutes when you're in Cape Town.
That's actually the most important, yeah. No, I mean, it was good times. When you speak about the Munster, your time at Munster, how was that? Adapting, because it's always to go to a different union in South Africa is to adapt, to go to a different country, Ireland to adapt, to Japan to adapt. How was Munster?
No, I have to say, Ireland, obviously, beautiful place, lovely place, great people, like massive rugby culture, everybody's friendly. Munster was an absolute machine of a club, like awesome club. I didn't want to leave Munster, but obviously other opportunity came up and had to take my chances. But just the setup in Munster, very professional. Everybody's tightly knitted for the greater good of Munster, like the Cork, Limerick, where we are based and we get our talent from and stuff. Everybody's just so heavily invested in Munster. It's almost like if you want to that's one of the supporters that I could it's almost like a soccer club supporters base.
Yes.
It's massive. The Munster flags are on in every house's roof. When you go down the road, the small towns, everybody's got a Munster flag on. So it's almost like Munster by religion. So but just the weather.
Is it? Yeah, yes.
I was used to playing in long skins and it was like 10, 15 degrees at Newlands and you get the first game -8 and you're like, whew.
Yeah.
Wat het ek nou aangejag?
That's some Scotland, yes.
Standing next to the scrum, like looking at the forwards, and when you drop down your arm, it's full of snow.
Yes.
Then it's a little bit of an adjustment, yeah. Then you kind of like learn to look for work on the field, not just standing and wait for the ball to come to you. Because you want to warm raak.
You want to play 15 actually with that type of weather, yeah.
Yes.
What's next for Shadow? I mean, how long are we still looking at for life after? Do you still have 3 more years? So we're playing till 2030?
No, obviously a guy, as long as you enjoy it, and your
like
body
for
holds
the
up.
set.
Yeah,
day for
do it as long as you can, because when it's done, it's done. You're not going to come back after 3-4 years. Ek mis die rugby, ek wil weer speel en goeie sien. When you have the opportunity, enjoy it to the best of your ability and play it to the best of your ability, because you know next game might be your last game. I'm still signed until next year, after next year's season, so May 2026. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We just take it day for day.
Day by day, yeah.
And just focus on being ready and prepped for this season to play like it's my last season. Yeah.
And Shadow, if we fast forward from today, 10 years into the future, and you look back on your career, what would you want people to remember Gerhard van der Heever by?
I think one of the guys that was fortunate enough. I always say it's luck, and by the grace of God that I've had the career that I've had. Obviously, I had injuries along the way, but there was a lot of guys probably better than me or so. But that's just the way life works. It's a little bit of luck here, and a little bit of grace, and a little bit of hard work, and you just land. You find yourself in the right space at the right time, and you just need to be ready for when that opportunity comes. That's probably the most important. But being remembered for a guy that always worked hard, with diversity and injuries and illnesses that came along my way, it's just kept on pushing through, having your mind on that goal. You want to play rugby, you want to play it to the best of your ability. And it was just to be lucky enough to have had a career that I've had so far.
Just in a brilliant career indeed, partner.
He's played for Kubota Spears, played for Yamaha, Munster, Bulls, Stormers. Made his debut as a 19-year-old. So that's a baddie.
Yeah.
Okay? That's a baddie.
Now I'm very fortunate.
And unlike the two of you, some of us had to play Vodacom Cup in Welkom. Okay?
I played one half of Vodacom Cup in Welkom.
Is it?
Yeah.
Vories in Welkom
That was the week before the Stormers.
Damn it. Yes, you had to take the bus from Loftus to Griquas, and you play Griquas there in the Currie Cup game. I rookele vir jou.
But I have to say, that was nice games playing Griquas in Kimberley. Daai vlees langs die vuur, jy ryk die hotdogs. Jy weet, vandag gaan dit lekker taaf wees hier so op Griquas Park.
Yeah.
Stof staan as jy dek, meneer.
Definitief, yeah. Shadow, thank you very much for your time, man. We really appreciate it. I know you've got a couple more weeks, or maybe months, because Japan's break is a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for making the time for us. Hopefully there's some rakas there in Japan, and the people will konnichiwa that side as well. But yeah, all the best with your injury, all the best with your time, and your time here, especially in Stellenbosch and Cape Town. And all the best of your career. May it go well this time, and next time we come around, we'll sit back and relax and talk about the old days again. Yeah.
Asseblief, Shadow, when we got time in Japan, make sure Bryn watches the episodes, Coach Francie watches. We need to be on them now. Okay, Davey cannot miss an episode.
No, we don't miss an episode either. So.
Now we're talking.
On that note, okay, Ruckers, Behind the Ruck is proudly supported by SuperSport Bet. Our pedal sponsor, thank you for being on board. Macron, excellent. Episode 104.
Yes.
Gerhard
and we're
van
in
der
the
Heever.
lovely Stellenbosch as well. Yaya Cafe. We're having our coffees and our caffeines. And
Must say,
spicing
Ruckers,
it.
today was pretty cool having people walk around, eat, drinking coffee while the episode is going. So I like the fact that we've gone moving
something
boundaries.
different, eh?
Masala.
Comfort zone. I feel like $1 million sitting like this, comfortable, eh?
$1 million.
Hey, don't know. I mean, we're super blessed for Yaya's opening the doors for us and man, having this episode with you as a special guest. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, guys, for having me over. It's a massive privilege to be a part of your show, and thank you for the show. It's awesome for us to sit and watch in Japan when we're a little bit lonely and stuff, when we can tune into Behind the Ruckus and it feels like we're chatting with you guys when you chat about the game.
Yeah.
So thank you for broadcasting the episodes, and we really appreciate you guys' hard work.
We love it, man. Entertaining the Safas. Hey guys, it's episode 104. Hey guys, I'm Juan de Jong.
Guys, I'm Rudy Page.
I'm Gerhard van Heever. Thank you for joining us.
And the Ruck is clear. Bye bye.